If there is no passion and it's just work, then it's a soulless, profession. When you put your heart into it and you put your focus into it, it's an extension of your life. It's like eating, like walking, like breathing. When it came to movies, Linda Hamilton, Sigourney Weaver, Whoopi Goldberg were my icons because they played these characters that represented my level of energy, my curiosity, my sense of purpose when I was a child. And whereas, the Jane Austen movies or stories, I didn't understand, and that's okay. It just meant that I was still a woman. I was still a young girl on her journey, but my journey was different than the common sort of theme of what female journeys were. And I loved the fact that Sarah Connor was going to deliver to the world the Messiah, and she was the one that's going to be super strong for him. And I love that Sigourney Weaver was just the toughest mom in space, And that Whoopi Goldberg, it didn't matter if she was carrying a gun in Fatal Beauty or if she was, CC in The Color Purple, or she was, this operator in Jumping Jack Flash. She was stunning. She was funny. She was just I can't even describe what it meant. And then as life goes on, I got to meet Whoopi Goldberg and I was able to tell her what she meant to me. I got to work with Sigourney Weaver and she got to know how much I look up to her. And every time I still receive her emails, I'm just like, everybody, Sig just emailed me, by the way. One was Steven Spielberg. He said, Zoe, come here. In order for you to know where you're going, you must always know where you came from. So in a way, it's learn your history, not just your history about yourself, but like if cinema is what you love, you need to catch up on everything that cinema has brought to you before you so that you know where you're going to take cinema next. And that was really powerful. And James Cameron said, girl, you got to know how to run. Because being a ballet dancer, there's a lot of things that ballet dancers know how to do. You don't really run, you're discouraged from running. And Jim would be like, cut. What was that? And I'm like, well, you told me to run from here to there. He goes, I wasn't running. What were you doing? Hey guys, we have to train her. She has to start learning to run. And that was just like, and every time I find myself going from A to B, I always think about that. When I did Center Stage, I remember being discouraged by my management at that time to use my name, But their intention was never for me to stop being who I am. They celebrated who I was. But my manager at the time was a former, singer and a ballroom sort of performer. And she did change her name as well, when she was a teenager, like back in the 60s, I believe. And she said, it's what everybody does, And I remember that today is advice that we consider poor, but that was her doing the best that she wanted for me, But I still knew that I liked my name. Since I became a mom, since I started to feel like an adult, it's extending myself out there for women, for especially young women in the industry. If you ever have any questions about your representation, or you want to bounce ideas, or how to handle a contract, how to push your team, how to allow your team to influence you, or if you feel uncomfortable, I'm here. And I can only share with you based on my experiences, my failures, and then my successes, in hopes that they will inspire you to make good decisions for yourself. Like I've always done that in the last, 5, 6, 7 years. Being that wing woman that lets your colleague know as a woman that she's okay to ask for more because she believes that she deserves it. And it's okay for her to say no because she believes that that is how she truly feels. And it's been wonderful. Just to feel, allow yourself to feel. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm a woman of color and I was always chosen for the character that was hard and strong, because we do, through history, have this idea that women of color, people of color, have to be tougher, have to work harder. And that is something that I've been seeing how Hollywood is just waking up and allowing the fragility, the vulnerability, the flower that lives in a woman of color to bloom. I think that's very important. So I resented always being asked, like, oh, you play strong women, why? Do you have any? Because I always felt that the women that I was playing, they were all in so much pain, and they were soft and gentle on the inside. And I always tried, sometimes the lines failed to represent what this character was truly feeling when this character was alone. So I think my goal was to always feel for them. Feel what they were really feeling and not what their intentions were, you know, and you know, a Colombiana is one where I look at the character of Cataleya and her sadness overwhelms me still. She's an orphan. And everybody just, you know, not everybody, but people represented the toughness. People celebrated how tough and kick-ass she was. She suffered a traumatic experience that she will never recover. She's a broken person. And that's what drew me to her character. What inspires me? People's dedication to their craft. That really repurposes me. At times when I feel that I just, you know, that it's Sunday night and I have a heavy lines, you know, on Monday morning, and I haven't rehearsed, to be reminded that there's so many other people that are being grateful and always nurturing their craft. So what am I doing sitting down? You know, that inspires me, just to be around people that enjoy doing what they love. Whether you're willing or unwilling to do it, it just happens. You are following until it shifts, and then you find yourself leading. I think that being reminded, you know, when you see a young, promising woman and you see that sense of wonder in their eyes, but sometimes that trepidatious sort of fear, that, you know, emotion, you're reminded that that was you years ago, and you're like, oh my God, it has been years. I was fresh and new once. I didn't know what I was doing. I did have my first times already, and these are her first times. It's like, oh God, let me just volunteer. Let me just volunteer myself, my insight, my comfort, and I don't know. You feel. My heart bursts every time, you know, it's well received. There's always that fear. My insecurity tells me that somebody's gonna be like, I don't need your help, I didn't ask for it, you can go. You know, because egos are inflated. I remember being there. But when you do receive it with openness and gratitude and curiosity, I don't know, I just feel connected to women. And that is a great sensation when I feel connected, because for so long, I am a part of a system that for thousands of years, you were taught to take pride in the disconnection from your sisters. So reaching out to women and when they reach out back is a connection that I can't describe. This feels great.